Maya Angelou said, if you're gonna live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that can't be erased. I'm Martin, this is Donald and Curtis. We're native New Yorkers. Welcome to season 3 of the Road to Legacy podcast.
Together, Martin and I have worked in hospitality for about almost 40 years, and we've been truly blessed to meet people from all walks of life. And in those conversations, it led us to question, what is legacy? What is the driving force that motivates people to do what it is that they do? That passion led us to create the Road to Legacy podcast.
And hey, I'm Curtis, the newest passenger on this Road to Legacy podcast, a student, lover of history, and I'm just super enthused, man, to be along for the ride with my brothers, discussing, debating life, politics, and race, and everything in between. Just hope you come and join us on this quest of seeking, learning, and above all, leaving a legacy. Grace and peace from the Road to Legacy.
What up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Road to Legacy podcast, where our objective is always to inspire, educate, and influence people by what you do and what we discuss. And today, as always, I'm sitting with my man, 50 grand, Marty G in the house. What up, Doc?
What's up? Martin Small in the house, Marty G in the place to be, 149th Street all day. New York Knicks won last night. They say it was the biggest game of the history of playoffs, one of the top 3 games in the playoffs, where most exciting. Now, from what I hear, I didn't watch it last night, but from what I hear, even people that don't know basketball were extremely excited. My daughter was out there last night running around, screaming and yelling for the Knicks. So it just galvanizes the city and brings the city together, and that's something I like. Like I said on my TikTok, the last time I posted a TikTok on our TikTok channel, which is the Road to Legacy podcast TikTok channel, right? What's the name of our TikTok channel? It's the Road to Legacy podcast, right?
Yeah, man, it's the Road to Legacy podcast.
Yeah. The last time I put it up there, what I was saying that I did not want the Knicks. I did not want the Knicks to win when Trump was there, and I stand by that always. But I'm glad that they pulled it out. After being down, I heard it was 29 points.
Yeah, we were down 29 points, man. Listen, I was watching that game from the beginning to the end, and I was like, yo, this is just ridiculous. It's the good old Knicks. Here we go again, getting all hyped up for us to come all the way here and freaking lose. And this time around, I was pleasantly surprised, man. I watched every single bit of the game. And it's just incredible to see what they were able to do. And, and this is what leads to the title of today is Restless Resilience, man, because the Knicks, talking about resilience, man, for them to struggle the way they did is kind of crazy. Hold on for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then they made a comeback. So as you know, at the Road to Legacy, we don't have a lot of time sometimes. And we know there's a couple of people out there listening, and there's always something going on. So right now, Donald's at home. Somebody just rang his doorbell, and he has to pick it up. We're on the move constantly. I'm traveling, around from LA, New York, even as far as being out there in Marrakesh. Working with Ruby Bridges and a couple other people that are helping change the world. Donald is literally taking care of his family each second. He has elderly father-in-law. He's a great father. So sometimes, you have to get up in the middle of these things and get it done. So once again, we totally apologize each time that we do this, but we've been so busy at things that we do, just life be lifing, that sometimes we haven't managed right. I'll be honest. We haven't managed right our ways of, sitting down and relaxing and getting things straight. So anyway.
Yeah, man. I apologize about that. And thank you, Doc, for holding me down because
it's called the Road to Legacy, right?
It's called the Road to Legacy. So like Martin was just saying, there's always something going on, and I try to lock in a space.
Right. So what's our point? Our point is to get to the people and let the people know what life is, and life be life. And we here, everybody knows it. So go ahead, finish what you were saying. You don't have to explain to everybody what you did, because I just did that.
Thank you for doing that. And before I continue what I was saying, if you like what you see, just hit that like button, share it with a friend, tell a friend. The more subscriptions we get, the better it is to help us continue giving you this quality off the chain conversation between me and my man 50 Grand. So just hit that like, share, and subscribe button so you can subscribe to our podcast. But like I was saying, the reason why the title is called Relentless Resilience is after watching the Knicks last night, giving up all hope. I know I gave up all hope watching this game. Like, yo, these cats are not going to pull it off. And as I watched them constantly just chuck away at the score, constantly just keep fighting. They went from 29 and it dropped down to 21. Then it went back up to like 22. Then it dropped down to 15. Then it went back up to 21. Then it dropped back down to 15. And by the time the fourth quarter came, the Knicks I think they got it down to about maybe 9 or 7 at one point. And then after that, it was a wrap. And then on top of that, the caveat of the game is, which everyone saw, was they take the ball out. I think it's like 5 point something seconds on the clock. And they inbound the ball, dishes out to Jalen Bronson. OG, come on, I got to give it up for OG. Anyway, Jalen Bronson shoots the three. OG is in the back watching the ball. He sprints to the basket. The ball comes off of the rim and OG taps it in. The ball goes in. There's about 1.2 seconds left on the clock. Game over. So it's just an incredible story of a team that continuously fought. It didn't matter that they were down 29 points.
Right.
And it's a lesson in life, not just a lesson in life in terms of not ever giving up when people were counting you out, but it's also a lesson in how we can fight through everything that's going on right now, to kind of keep chucking away at the wood, all the racism that's going on, all the separatism, the Republican, Democrat, our democracy that's being challenged. So I just want to take the moment to embrace something good, and that was something good for the city. But we got to chill though. New York is a crazy, man. We are crazy. Cats were
breaking stuff up. Yeah.
No, we are loose, and this is the younger generation, and this is not a racial thing. It's everybody out there is wilding out. Young kids, black, white, Chinese, Indian. Yo, I also think that it's setting a tone for sports. It's not a good tone, because now that means when we go into another arena or another stadium, are people going to treat us like that if their team wins? Because New Yorkers are wild. They were throwing eggs at I keep butchering the brother's name, the center from the Knicks. They were throwing eggs at him, man. They were smashing police cars
from the Spurs.
From the Spurs, yeah.
Right.
I keep butchering his name, man. So I just won't say his name. But he's an incredible
skinny guy.
Yeah, he's an amazing.
I told everybody that I'm not really a basketball fan too much, because I don't even know those people's names. But next time we got to get some basketball professionals on here to talk about it. People who know.
I'm a basketball head. I like basketball, but I just keep butchering that brother's name, and I need to get it right. I'm looking it up right now.
I'm glad that they won. It brought the city together in certain ways, just like other events bring the city together. But when it comes to breaking stuff up and turning cars over, that happened in Boston each time the Patriots won. It happened in Philly when the Eagles won. It happens everywhere. It happens in every city, every big city where there's a lot of people all together, packed together. There's always going to be some knuckleheads that's going to mess everything up, which they did. The knuckleheads that broke stuff up messed everything up, because they had to close down the watch party in front of the Garden, which was kind of whack. But they had
that was only for Trump. That was only for Trump. They opened it back up yesterday.
But they're not going to do it now. They're going to shut it down.
Finally, what they said?
Yeah, Mandani and even though they don't get along, and Dolan came to an agreement. Dolan said it first. Mandani said, we'll do it in other parts of the city because of what had happened in the front of the garden. They didn't want that happening again where the kids, where whoever, or the thugs, the knuckleheads that were out there were breaking stuff up. So, you know.
And just quickly, as I'm sitting here and listen to you talk, reporting news that Trump canceled plans to strike against Iran, which is great. But yeah, it makes sense though for the for them to make that ruling for the people not to be in front of Madison Square Garden, because cats is just crazy. They're jumping on top of the freaking what do you call that? The cover? I don't know what it's called, the proper term for it. The cats jumping up there, jumping on the poles, jumping on yellow taxis.
Jumping like the marquee of the building.
The marquee, yes, thank you.
It says garden on it. Yeah. They were doing that. They were breaking cars up. But, you know, it wasn't a lot of people. It was just a few that got arrested. Some of them got arrested, got locked up, thank God, and it's all right. But, you know, it is what it is. They won. We're going to see if they can take it the next game. Where do they play? They play back in New York, or they play out there?
No, they go to San Antonio. I believe they play on Saturday.
Yeah, and I'd rather, and you know, San Antonio is Texas, so I'd rather New York win than Texas, because that Greg Abbott out there, the brother out there, that's the Republican that's in the wheelchair, that's very oppressive out there, and you know,
Greg Abbott is whack.
Go back and forth with it. So I'm glad. I hope they lose now, and I hope Trump goes to their game back. They're going to be at San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
So I hope
you talk about Greg Abbott, the governor
of Texas. Yeah.
So I do hope to win the Knicks go there and bust down the door and bring New York City to Texas and just do it all in their face and all that.
It's great. It's a great example of diversity right now.
You said it's a great example of diversity?
Yeah, right now to the country. You know, New York.
Yeah, for sure. It is a great example.
Now, don't get me wrong; it's not a melting pot, but it is diverse. So,
when you say diverse in the sense of people who showing up to the game, or what do you mean?
Just when people from the news all the way down to the game, when they show people talking, the news, New York news, and certain news, they show people of all ethnic backgrounds, all tax brackets, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. Because it's such a small city. People don't realize how tiny New York is when it comes to land, but how many people on it. So everybody has no choice but to be packed together, no matter what their tax bracket is. And no matter, of course, people go home to their own communities, but when it comes time to work, everybody's downtown Manhattan, or downtown Brooklyn, or somewhere in Flushing, Queens, working together. You could be in.
Oh, that's what you mean by diverse. Right. Okay, I thought you was talking about like at the game, because at the game is not as, you know.
No, but you know, people know that people can't. There's a lot of people that can't afford to spend $250,000 to $500,000 a ticket on the floor and $400,000 a ticket in nosebleeds. And if you ever been to the Garden, you know if you've been up top, because I've been up top to the Garden, you can't see nothing.
Yeah,
circus in there. I've been to concerts. You can't see nothing if you're up at the top.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of people, or the majority of people, cannot afford those tickets. That's like 10,000, 5,000. You know, some people could do it, but
people from out of town. People from out of town were coming through. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people from out of town. I saw a story of a 12-year-old boy whose parents surprised him with tickets to the game, and I know they spent a pretty penny for that surprise, but that was a nice little surprise. So. You know, shout out to the New York Knicks. Shout out to New York City. We finally have a possibility of winning a championship in over 40-something years. I think it's 46 years. I think the last championship New York City had was when Wilt Chamberlain won for the Knicks. So this is definitely road to legacy for the New York Knicks for sure. So shout out to all of them for being fighters and being relentless and resilient to come back.
Players, the owners, the owner's horrible, man. Sorry, and that's where I'm at the fence with the Knicks. Like, do I root for them, knowing who the owner is, and you know? But anyway, yeah, for the players, we just hope, and we.
I mean,
for them and their
It's
families.
yeah. I mean, it the same thing happens in our politics, right?
Mhm.
Same thing. We vote for people who will give us the best interest. We try to vote for people who, like I said, will give us the best opportunity to get what it is that we need. Um, and speaking of which, I got to give another shout out to our
So,
mayor, New York City, my mayor, because you're no longer in New York City, even though you're a native. My mayor, Zoran Mamdani, who does it again with being an interrupter. Zoran Mamdani, I don't know if you know about this, Doc. The FIFA had made a rule that no one can bring water from the outside into the venue.
mhm.
And that caused a lot of controversy because you know how it is when you go to an arena, you go to a concert,
It
uh,
gets hot. It gets hot.
it's very expensive. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not that it
Mhm.
only gets hot, but it's also very it's hot and people get thirsty, man. And it's
That's what
expensive
I
to
said.
buy
It gets
those
hot.
little bottles of water. Yeah, you're right. It gets hot.
Yeah.
And and so what he did was he was able to fight against FIFA and say, look, New Yorkers are it's hot and people need to be able to, not just New Yorkers, but people coming to see the game, they need to be able to bring bottled water inside. Like,
Okay. So now what did Mr. Magical Superhero Dora Mondani do about the water, man?
you sound like a hater.
Go
You don't
ahead,
like
just
Mom
tell
Donnie,
me.
huh?
I just want to know. I just want to know what
You
he
you don't
did.
you don't you don't you don't like
No,
Mom
you
Donnie?
talk about how thirsty
Just say it.
people are.
Just say it. Tell
You
me
talk
tell
about
me
how
tell me
thirsty
why you
people are.
mad.
No,
Tell
just
me
tell
why
me.
you mad. You don't like Zoran Mondani?
No, finish your thing.
No,
Finish.
no, no.
What you
Just answer.
saying?
You got to answer that question. Let the people know. Do you not like Zoran Mamdani?
I don't like any politicians. I have a
Oh,
patience and kindness to all politicians, but he's a politician. So do I
oh,
like him? I don't have to like him. Is he following certain policy? Yes, he is. Is he doing what he said he was going to do? Yeah. So it's not a question if I like him or not. The question is he working for me? Is he working for New York? Is he doing his job? So go back to your water thing. Go ahead.
so Zoran Mamdani is absolutely doing his job, 100%.
Okay,
So,
what's he
and
doing with
I
the
just
water?
want.
You got to
I'm going to
finish with the water.
share. I'm gonna let you listen to what he had to say.
Okay.
Right. Let me unmute it. 1 second.
There's also the heat that spectators are going to be subjected to for arguably a longer period of time, as they will be there before the game starts and after the game finishes. And so that is something that we're going to follow up on to better understand what the rationale is, because we don't want anyone to be skimping on water because of the cost of the water at the stadium if they otherwise would be drinking it. We want to make it easy to have some water.
You know what I'm saying? I like Mamdani, man. He's
What's that
doing.
mean? So okay, all right. He's gonna make sure everybody gonna have some
I
water.
think he's doing an incredible job for all the haters out there like yourself. What else is Mamdani doing for New York
I
City?
know exactly. You don't even have to tell me what he's doing.
Okay then.
Again, what you do on your side of the Road to Legacy podcast.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Make it sound like I'm a hater. I don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know that he raised $1.2 billion for universal health care. See, so when I hear about things like Mandani, I don't give a F about the water. The water don't matter to me. So what? He's giving a whole bunch of people water in a stadium where people are paying crazy money for tickets. They got to walk through a crazy tunnel. You can't park. They're charging more. The MTA is charging twice as much to get through. He needs to lower the price of that. Mandani is also doing things when it comes to housing, which I'm going to talk about, because what we try to do is we try to educate, influence people. So y'all need to know where you can go to find affordable housing in New York City now. So Mandani is a good mayor up to this point. But once again,
that's what I want to hear.
Just like you have a good president up to the point, just like you have
who are you talking about?
Just like, no, I'm not talking about Trump, but I'm saying just
Oh,
like
okay.
people
Let's
say
be clear.
that you have a good president. Everybody on these airwaves knows that I can't stand Trump. But the point of the matter is that there's some people that feel the same way about Trump.
So just let them know.
A lot of people feel the same exact way that people feel about Mamdani about Trump. There's people that feel the same way, and then there's people who didn't come out to vote at all. Just like with the election with Kamala Harris, people didn't come out to vote. The blame is not on the people who come out to vote. The blame is on the people who didn't vote for people and didn't vote for Kamala Harris and didn't vote for Mamdani and voted for Trump or voted for which is up in Rockland County. There's a congressman up there that's horrible. He's and he's influenced in New York too. I forgot his name.
Who are you talking about?
Rockland County's Trumpster. I forgot his name, but I don't want to waste time. But no, I don't. It's not that I don't like a politician. I don't have to like them. I just need to know that they're doing their job. So up to this point, Zohran Mamdani has been doing his job up to this point. That's all.
He's been doing it. You're talking about Mike Loyler,
yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, Mike. Right.
Mike
He is
Loyler. Yeah.
Lawyer, whatever you call it, lawyer.
Something like that.
So yeah, he's influencing the city. He's doing so much in New York City right now with Trump's backing. So as long as they're doing their job, man, as long as they and their job has to be what the people voted them for. So New York just voted Mamdani in office to do the job that he's doing, to lower. The reason he got voted in is because he promised that he would lower rent, and he's working on that. He promised that he would give universal health care. Universal child care, which he's attempting to do and which he's doing. So he's serving the people the way that he said he would serve the people. And that's on the other side. On the flip side, that's what's happening with Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been doing what his base has been asking him to do. And that's
you saying Donald Trump is serving the people?
That's Donald Trump is serving his base. Like I said, I'll say it one more time so everybody can hear it again. His base. Donald Trump is serving his base just like Mamdani is serving his base. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump base, the people who voted for him, wanted him to do exactly what he's doing right now. Exactly. Now, did they know that they were going to suffer from this? No, they did not know. Not all of them. Some of them, they'll shoot their foot off. They'll blow their head off just to get over, just to get what they want. But Donald Trump has a base that voted for him, and he's doing what he said that he would do. Mamdani has a base that voted for him that are doing what they're going to do. So do I need to like the politician? No, I don't have to like him because it could change up just like that. So no, I'm not saying anything against the brother, but I'm just saying what is a fact, and that is that these politicians need to just follow the policy that they promised to their base. And Mamdani has a strong base in New York that happens to be an ethnic strong base that doesn't care if he's from the Socialist Party. Just like people don't care about Trump being in the Republican Party because they daggone sure ain't following the Constitution.
You said that Trump is catering to his base.
No, I didn't say catering to his base. I said he's giving his base what they want.
Okay, so wouldn't that be kind of catering to them?
No, because they knew what they wanted. Catering is when you bring the plate and you say, "Here, people, this was doing what you want." Is like, yo, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do, and we don't care who it hurts. We don't care. That's not serving us. It's not serving anybody. We just want to make sure that this is done. We don't want immigration anymore in the country, even though every other past administration was getting rid of immigrants left and right, especially Obama. Obama was the biggest one to get rid of the most immigrants in the country, but he did it differently, which he did it legally. And he had no scandals. He wasn't a 36 convicted felon.
Well, also, he didn't have multiple baby mamas like they love to put on black men. He didn't have multiple baby mamas. He did not sleep with little kids.
Right.
And
that's fine.
He did not rape anyone.
And even if he did, if he stuck to what he said he was going to do for the American people, then he did it. Because there's a lot of politicians that did great work, and they had crazy scandals. But
there's a lot of stuff that Trump did not do.
For you and me.
No, for his base. So he was supposed to repeal health care. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He was supposed to give taxes and economic relief to the American people. He didn't do that. He was supposed to not increase the national debt. He absolutely did not do that. And then he talked about government accountability. He didn't do that. He also said that we're not going to have any more wars. He didn't do that. I mean, this man has lied over and over and over and over again. And even though his base that you talked about that he's catering to or serving, which is, he's not doing that. His base, his core, are low income white people. He's not helping them out. Gas prices are still crazy high.
Yeah, but they don't, like I said in the beginning, what I was saying in the beginning is that you're right, but that's what his base wants. His base wants.
Maybe you do have a point.
They want to get rid of immigration. They want to get rid of the 14th Amendment. They want to get rid of citizenship. They want to put black people back to where they were pre-Jim Crow. And that's what they want. And if they have to sacrifice, because I've heard a friend of mine who's a Trump supporter, I've heard her say straight up, if that's what the consequences are, that's what we have to deal with. Now, why is she still a friend of mine? Because I got such an open heart that I think I can help her and I can teach her that she's crazy, that she out of her mind. And we're crazy too. We're crazy too. We're crazier. I think I heard somebody.
You can say that for yourself, man. I can't. I have a friend who's also a Republican, but I am not going to change her mind. She is who she is.
I'm crazy. I'm out of my mind. They are narcissistic, evil people in some cases. Not all, but some. And I am out of my mind. Out of my mind.
Because you swear you can change the Republican Party. That's why you call yourself an Abraham Lincoln.
Because I think that every time I hear somebody getting shot, which we were going to get to, every time I hear somebody getting go to a sentence in jail, like Carmelo.
Carmelo. Same name as Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player.
Carmelo. Every time I hear something like that happen, and I say, oh my God, this happened again, and I think that it's ever going to change, then I'm losing my mind. It's basically like, I know you heard this analogy before. It's basically like an abused person. You heard that before, right?
Thinking that something's going to change, and they keep staying in an abusive relationship, hoping the person's going to change. That's how you are.
That's how every black person in America.
Don't talk for every black person. Don't do that. Don't generalize all of us. We're not a monolith. Don't do that.
That's how.
Don't say every black person.
All right, I'll say it like this. That's how 95% of black people.
You don't know 95% of black people.
I'm saying it. I'm saying 95%.
You don't know 95% of black people.
I'll say 95% of black people in this black men in this nation, when they have been pulled over by the cops and been harassed. That's not a true statement? No,
you didn't finish.
Let's go 75.
You didn't finish saying what you were going to say.
I'm trying to make a point, but you said no. I can't speak for black people. I'm black, and I could speak. So
okay, go ahead.
If you're saying that 95%, if not, let's say 20% of black people.
All right, what are you saying? What are you saying?
Have not been pulled over. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to say that as a black man in this country, knowing since I was not a baby because I wasn't thinking, knowing since I was 10 years old, from seeing my father get pulled over and harassed, knowing that he was a second black fireman in New York City with his badges, to my brother and I walking down the street and cops putting guns in our faces, me with my military uniform on, and my brother being an officer of New York City, to me being pulled over out here in Indianapolis, New York, being pulled over in North Carolina, being harassed in different countries because of the color of my skin by my own people in some cases.
Where you were pulled over by your own people?
Yeah, by Nevis. Me and one of my great friends got harassed in Nevis a couple of times.
But not in the United States, right? By black people.
No, I just said that the whole beginning of the conversation. I don't know if you heard me, but I said the whole beginning of the conversation was, yeah, I've been pulled over a lot of times by cops, black cops too, white cops too, because they fall into those way of thinking. They fall into the white supremacist way of thinking. Indian cops, right? But mostly, you know what? I'll take that back. Yes, black cops. A lot of black cops in Harlem harassed me, beat me up. Threw me in the train station, locked me up, me and Carl. And Carl,
there were black cops, you said?
Yeah, one of his names is Lampkins. I'll never forget Lampkins. Lampkins was the most ruthless cop in my community. He used to line people up to play the numbers, and if you got out the line, he would smack you upside the head with a thing. And then he used to line people up to go get heroin back in the day before crack.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah, Lampkins. His name was Lampkins and his whole crew. Lampkins. This is back in the day when cops wore the double-breasted. It looked like Nazi things. He looked crazy. Lampkins. I'll never forget Lampkins. But back to what I was saying. We know that we're going to get pulled over. We know that we're going to get hurt. We know that we're going to get beat. We know we're going to get a shot. I heard a woman after speaking about Camilo Anthony, the brother that got shot, and she was like, I have 4 sons. What am I going to tell my sons now? I can't tell my sons to stand down anymore. I can't tell my sons that this is not going to happen again. This is a Black woman talking about it. So my theory, and I mean, not my theory, but the way I think is that we have also lost our mind because, not rightfully so, we've been driven out of our mind to stay in a place where we know that we're going to be continuously abused, to stay and talk about it over and over again. Like, they're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We're going to get through this. Why don't we protest? We're going to, when we continue to get beat now, like you started it off, we're resilient. And that's the only thing that saves us is our resiliency. But I also think there's a certain amount of insanity in us where we think that things are going to change. And that's why I get upset when people say, yo, that shouldn't have happened. Because I'm not thinking I know that they don't care about us. So if that Asian brother shot that Black young boy from 100 yards, right? We already know he don't care. Nobody in the country cares about Black lives, right? We know that. That's why we have Black Lives Matter, right? We know that nobody cares about. But what about when he shot? He ran down that dude 100 yards. So he was running through the street with a gun 100 yards, shot a dude in his back. What about all the other people he threatened? The judge couldn't see and the jury couldn't see that he was a man running down the street after somebody shooting his gun. The bullet could have went through that Black child, because nobody cares about Black bodies in some cases. If they did, we wouldn't be talking about this, and could have killed somebody else. But no, they don't convict them for nothing. Same thing with your boy Rittenhouse. I know you were going to talk about that too. He shot 2 white dudes in a Black Lives Matter rally with an AK-47. Now I know what an AK-47 can do. It's only made, you can't kill an elephant. It's only made with an AK-47. You could only kill a human being with that, right? Because you got to shoot an elephant like 900 times because the caliber bullet is so small. It's big for a human, but it's small for an elephant or a tiger or something. That's why they use shotguns and they use, heavy guns to shoot these things. But the thing about it is that it could have went through anybody and killed anybody, but he gets off. You see, so we know that Black minds don't matter. So we do have you asked me why I felt that way. Yeah, we have infused insanity by thinking that this is going to change anytime soon. Now, what do we do about it? What I would say, I don't know, because if I say what I really want to say, what to do about it, we would probably be taken off of the YouTube.
Well, I mean, okay, I do agree with you that it has to be some kind of insanity to an extent to believe that things will change. I guess it's the same reason why our ancestors were able to flee from slavery and still get up and still vote and still fight.
Yep.
It's the same reason that we still get up and go vote now, because we hope that things will change. I mean, there's the only way to get to the next level or to get to freedom. Well, freedom is not free. We have to fight, right?
Right.
And so this is constantly our thing. We always have to fight. Now, what does that fighting look like? Fighting doesn't come just one specific way. In order to win a fight, you got to think about multiple ways to do so. One of them may be protesting. One of them may be boycotting, which is also a form of protest. One of them may be voting. One of them, there's different tactics to accomplish a goal.
Well, this is a tactic right here. What we're doing right now on this podcast.
Absolutely. Like speaking out is a tactic. Speaking out is a tactic.
Teaching.
Well, we are teaching, but in the form of teaching, you speak out. You recognize and you address a situation to come up with solutions, how to fix that problem. I don't see it as crying. I think that it's one tactic to cause hopefully a
Just to
solution or
put it on
change.
record, I didn't say anything about crying now. I have said that before, but I didn't say
Right.
that.
I know you didn't say that now. I wasn't saying that you said it now. I
Okay,
was
but
just bringing it up.
why did crying come up?
Well, because I know that's something that you say.
All right, so say that, but don't say it's something I say. Don't say
Well, but I didn't address
say
I didn't
that
address
somebody's
I didn't say
crying right
Martin said.
now. I don't
See,
hear nobody
don't get
crying
in your
right now.
feelings. I didn't say you said it this time.
I don't hear you
I
crying. I
mentioned
don't
it.
hear you crying now.
I just mentioned it. And
Okay,
it's
go ahead.
like I was saying, there's different tactics to get things done. And I believe that in order for change to happen, there is some form of insanity. Now, I won't put the insanity of African Americans in this country and put it in the same box as a white supremacist.
No,
I
it's not
feel
in
their
it's totally
form of
different.
insanity is different because their form of insanity
They're not insane.
is huh?
They're not insane.
Oh, right. So okay, great. Please, what are they?
They're calculatingly colonialists. They know exactly what they're doing when it comes to trying to keep their power. So I don't know what you call that, like literally, because I was just from the 18th Airborne Corps. I was just in the Army and just happened to get a good job, make a little money. But I didn't go to school like you guys did out there all the time, which is unfortunate. Maybe I'll go back soon.
Well,
But
and pardon me for interjecting. I just want to kind of dissect that for people who may not know what a colonialist is or what they believe. A person who supports, advocate for, or actively participates in colonialism, the practice of a powerful nation establishing political, economic, and social control over a foreign territory or its native population.
right, and that's what they do. So they're not. They might seem like they're the same because they're scary. When you see the monster in the movies, they're coming after you, running after you, eating everybody up. They're crazy. They may seem insane, but they know exactly what they're doing. And we have been Americanized, colonialized. So we kind of think in some cases the way they do. And since we've been that way, especially when we travel, we go to different countries, we come back home, and it is. Some people love coming back home. I love coming back to the United States of America. As an African American, this is all I know, and I love my country. I'll fight for my country if I have to. Maybe not now because Trump is in there and he's lying to everybody. Heck, Seth is in there and he's lying to everybody. But I will definitely say I love my country. It's just that maybe not maybe. I just got a little insanity within me.
Well, one of the things is you talk about our colonial way or even a capitalist ideology that we have. I don't, in certain instances, I don't think that having a colonialist mindset is all the way negative because we want to have political and economic control, right? Because what a democracy is supposed to be about is the power is within the people, right? So I think that's important, and then one of it also says this: a cultural imposition. The colonialist mindset often involved enforcing the colonization, power, language, religion, and culture onto the indigenous population. Now, that's really loaded. I think that yes, it is human nature to if you're the person or the group of people that are in power and you are going into another nation or another country or another city and you are taking it over, you're going to impose your will, right? Same thing like when you're in the military, right? You're going, this military goes into other countries and oppose their will. We bring our American ideology or democracy into another country, so we change their way of life, what they believe. It's the same thing that happened to us. So to your point, yes, we have been bred to have a colonialist mindset just as well as a capitalist mindset. And so the problem is, though, I'm curious to know, what do you think the difference is between a colonialist or democracy?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I can't. That's huge. That's huge
Yeah,
because democracy, it depends on what type of colonialist you think you should be in. Is colonialism right just together, all together? I don't even think it's a right thing to be done. I think democracy, people working together, but that has to have checks and balances also, which Trump is trying to get rid of. So, for example, I was watching Scott Pelley yesterday, the guy who got fired from 60 Minutes, one of the
yes,
number one guys
yes.
who's been in wars overseas, been shot at, and all that stuff, and he just got fired. And he was saying that the key to democracy is journalism. And
yeah, that freedom of speech is very important.
And Trump is trying to oppress that, and that's why these people, again, he's putting people in places. He bought a piece of, I think, of CBS or something, and he's trying to just stop it, putting people in place to stop that, unqualified people to stop it. So that's a colonial move right there. But at the same time, it's also destroying our constitution and democracy. So I don't know. I would have to look at that and study that, what you just asked me, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, right? Because are they similar in certain aspects? I quickly looked it up while you were talking. Colonialism is the practice of a nation extending its political, economic, and military control over foreign territory and its people, resulting in subjugation and resource extraction. Mm-hmm. Democracy is a system of government where power is vested into the citizens who exercise it directly through their elected representatives.
Right. So that's opposite.
The polar opposite. But then again, is it completely polar opposite from each other? Because the practice of a nation extending its political, economic, and military control. Now, it sounds like that's something that sounds like something that's happening in our country right now. And I'm losing where I was going with.
Well, a lot of people say that this is not a democracy. A lot of people say that this never has been a democracy.
It's a republic.
A lot of scholars say that it's never been a democracy. So, like I said, we would have to really dive into that and ask those questions to people who would be viewing or whatever. So if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe and like us. We just need it because what we do is we do these kind of talks just to raise awareness and to give back to our community. But like you were saying, a democracy. I'm glad we live the way that we do. I don't know how long this is going to stand, but people had to pay the price. People had to get raped, killed, murdered, chopped up just to get to this point where I could have this air conditioner kicking in my house.
We are, this colonialism mindset, it's supposed to be, or it seems that it's supposed to be for when we're trying to conquer another nation, another country. However, in this administration, that has changed drastically. And so we can also look at, the discrimination that's been happening in FIFA that everybody's coming to right now, right? They are not allowing certain players to come into the U.S., and to be more specific,
who are they?
The government, ICE, that's deployed in multiple.
So the U.S. government is not
country. It is the U.S. government, which is ICE, is part of the U.S. government. We had Omar Artin, who's from Somalia. He has all his valid U.S. visa, all required documents. Show up to the airport, they send him and turn him back around. And it's just he's just one of many. A lot of the African players that's coming from Muslim countries like Iraq or Haiti. They're making it very difficult for these players to come into the country because under this administration, which is practicing colonialism at home, is making it difficult for other people to come into the country for the World Cup. Which is really, really ridiculous, and that's why earlier I had brought up Mamdani, who's practicing some humanity by saying, you know what, it may not be the biggest thing on his list of things to do, but I think it is very important because he is saying, look, corporations, you guys are going to make your money. You're charging all of these this money for people to get a ticket to come to the games, but you are restricting people from bringing water bottles in, and it's the summertime, 90-degree weather. Come on, So I like that fact that he's doing something like that, and that's why I brought up what Mamdani did earlier. But yeah, with everything that's happening, there's constantly this discrimination that's being practiced in this current administration, and I find it very funny and interesting that this not even funny. It's not funny at all, but I find it interesting that this is happening and still happening in 2025, where we are.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's been happening for a minute.
2026, excuse me. We're not in 25 anymore. We're in 2026.
Right. I mean, with your boy, the soccer player guy that you were just talking about, Arten, what's his name?
Yep.
So just to let everyone know also is that America's using one of the facts that they feel that he's part of had terrorist ties with Al Shabaab or something like that out of
who you talking about, Arten?
Yes. So a lot of people, that's one of the reasons that he can't come in. But on a higher note, right? Just not talking about him in sports, there's something that Trump has tried to remove, and that was the visas, the 01 visas, which brought people like Einstein into this country. So Silicon Valley was basically built not by Americans, but by foreigners coming to this country on an 01 visa, right? And that 01 visa allowed people to come here to 2-3 years to work and build, what Silicon Valley was and so forth and so on. Trump has stopped that. I think his wife actually came over here on one of those also on an artist visa. Hugh Jackman is here on that visa. Drake is here on that visa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry,
right.
I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
Now he's banning. Now he's not banning, but now he's going to start charging. So he's banning people from coming to the country, and some people, I think it's going to take effect in a couple of weeks. So you got people who are overseas working right now that are running back to America because they can't afford to spend, I think it's $100 million to come back into the country. I don't know all the details. Please, if anybody's listening to it, just look it up and correct me. But that 01 visa is very important to America's stability and how we continue to build this country, because no American is on that level when it comes to tech. No American, I'll say it again. We are knuckleheads when it comes to doing stuff like that. We need people from overseas.
100%. But back to this FIFA thing, it is extremely targeted, and I don't think it's just about that visa that you're bringing up. It's targeted in the sense that they are specifically pinning out or separating these specific people that are coming from these specific countries, denying them entry. And FIFA has a responsibility, knowing that this is a global sport and people are going to be coming from all over the world, to making sure and ensuring that these players will have access getting into the country, because the World Cup stated that the processing a visa must be applied in a non-discriminatory manner. And it shouldn't affect the national. I'm sorry?
Who said that? Who said non-discriminatory manner?
FIFA's bidding rules for the nations in 2017. This is coming from, if you guys want to see it, it's coming from AlJazeera.com, because I don't think they would really cover this as much in the U.S. But what it says is that, like I said, the World Cup states that visa processing must be applied in a non-discriminatory manner, adversely and not adversely affect the national immigration and security standards.
That was in their contract. That was the contract that they signed, right?
Correct.
So why do you think that Trump is now charging for the 01 visas? It's to do exactly what you said, because FIFA, no matter how much money they have, cannot supersede the government's law. See what I'm saying? So say they said, all right, guys, we want to give the Somali brother we'll give America $1 billion to let him in. Oh, no, we're changing the law now. So you can't do that. So it's
illegal. It's illegal. And then the thing about it is the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, after hearing these concerns and these criticisms, his statement was, kings of the world cannot override government decisions. To slightly to the, I guess the point that you were just trying to make is that they can't go over what government regulations are. However, this is brand new. They're just doing this now, and the time that they're doing it is very, very strategic, and it's
Yeah,
also telling to show that discrimination. Like all of a sudden, now this matters.
it's not discrimination on just him. It's discrimination on most black and brown countries with that O1 visa. You see,
100%.
because his wife came here on an O1 visa and she didn't have any type of artistic thing. She was just a model.
Nothing.
So that's
Nothing.
right. So it on another level, because people always look at sports and stuff like that. But if you look at the whole thing, and Homeboy was wrong about that king thing. Whoever said that, he was
That's
wrong.
the FIFA president.
Right. So Trump at this time is saying when he does something like this with the O1 visa, he has to go, to Congress. He has to go to the Supreme Court and all that other stuff to get it done. So he'll use democracy in that to get that. A king, and a real king, like in certain countries that are still kings, like Africa, they say no, and that's what it means. No, and that's the end of it. There's no going around or trying to go through the government. It's a king will tell you that's it, and that's it. You get your head chopped off, that's it. So you know what I'm saying? A king is a king. Trump, this is one time that Trump is saying, oh, okay, today I don't want to be a king. I'll go ahead and go with the laws of the land, and I'll start charging people to come here. Now, is it going to pass? We'll see.
Well, we can look at this even more deeper and take the lens and zoom it in some more, because in May, this year, they gave entry to only white South Africans. Right. There was a total of 6,668 refugees that were permitted to enter into the country by May 2026. 6,665 of them were white South Africans. That means that only 3 were non-white South Africans, and they gave them all asylum to come into the country. So it's very specifically targeted, and again, we're not surprised, but they're definitely it just says a lot. So as we celebrate the Knicks win, there's still so many other things that's happening behind the scenes, and where we can't get distracted. As much as I'm happy that the Knicks won and it's all great, the owner of the team is a racist and is a big Trump supporter. So we talked about this on our last live a little bit. But I also want to talk about the double standards that exist. So earlier we mentioned about Carmelo Anthony and versus Kyle Rittenhouse. We kind of briefly talked about it, but I just want to let the listeners know and the viewers know, again, there's another clear distinction that these things are racially motivated. It's very, very specific. And then the question comes is like, what are we going to do about it? Right. That's what Joe Madison always says to us, is what are you going to do about it? And that's us coming out here on the platform and talking about it is one of the ways that we are doing things about it. And just since we're talking about sports really quickly, I want to give a shout out to, I don't know if you've heard of her before. You don't watch basketball or anything like that, but this is coming from the WNBA. Olivia Magic Miles, who they're calling the Magic Johnson of the WNBA. She's incredible, but I'm going to mention a name. I know you don't watch in WNBA or really NBA for that matter, but do you know?
I know. I like the WNBA.
Oh, you like the WNBA? Okay.
Yeah, I like women out there doing something, man.
I got a question for you. Did you know that there was a trans woman playing in the WNBA for almost 20 years?
I heard on the news.
That made news? I didn't even know it made the news.
Yeah, I heard it was on the news.
I never ever knew about this before. And her name is Laisha Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
She also played with Cappy Pondexter.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was
I
on the
had
news
no
back
idea.
in the day when it
Huh?
came out. When it came out, it was on the news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this shocked me because she played through all of the controversy
Mm-hmm.
when they were talking about banning trans people from sports, and she
Mm-hmm.
was still playing up until 2024. I believe she retired.
Right. Because
And
the WNBA wasn't that popular. People really didn't care, and people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know.
yeah, I did not know it. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up, it goes back into our topic of the day, the restless resilience of just people, human beings in general. I could imagine all the controversy that she went through, and it was kind of quiet. I didn't hear a whole lot about it. You said you heard about it in the news. I never heard anything about it, so I thought it was very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But as we're about to wrap up, because I'm constantly
You were
moving.
saying something about Olivia Miles.
Oh, I mentioned I mentioned Miss Miles just to jump into speaking about
What is she transgender?
Laisha. No, she's not. She's not. That was just my pivot to talk about Laisha Clarendon.
Oh yeah, but you brought up Miles, so you got to talk about Miles.
I brought up Miles because I didn't want to just talk about the negative things that's happening. I was trying to bring some light.
So what light did she do? What light did Olivia Miles do? I want to know what
she's just nice. She's just nice. We talk. This is about. We started with the New York Knicks winning. It's about basketball. She's just nice. It's somebody to look out for. I figured to give her props, give her a shout out.
Okay, all right. I don't know who she is, man. I know.
Give you a little gem so you can look it up.
Angel Reese and all that. You know what I'm saying? But tell us what's her stats? What's her stats? She got some stats or something?
Oh yeah, she got. You want me to break down what her stats are for you?
If she's that good, is she that good or no?
Oh, she is that good. She's nice.
I just want to know because I was like, okay, I'm waiting to hear about who Olivia Miles is. We talk about transgender stuff. I'm waiting to hear what Olivia Miles is doing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to wrap up soon, but there's certain things that I just want us to bring up right now to the people out here. Yeah. And then we can use that as a clip later on. But Olivia Miles, she played with the Lynx, right?
She's still playing.
She went to HBCU, I think. Did she go to HBCU?
She did not go to a HBCU. Oh, well, she did. She went to TCU. Is that yeah, TCU.
I don't know.
Is TCU a historically black college?
I don't know.
University?
Mm-hmm. All I know I knew that she played with the Lynx. That's all I know. And I know she went to college, and because of T, this reminds me of that. It's not. It's a Christian university. TCU is a Texas Christian University. It's a private research university in Fort Worth, Texas. Right. So yeah. So
Yo, but she is nice. She is 21 points, 8 assists, making her the 5th player in the league history to post at least 20 points and 5 assists in their first game. Like she's new on the scene, so she's making a lot of noise, and it's dope to shout her sister out who's just
I just didn't know. I mean, I've heard of her before because there's another player. Her name is Fudd. I forgot her first name, Aziza Fudd, and she played with her. So I was like, I know that name, Olivia. I thought you had something that I didn't know, that something that was going to pop up. So I just wanted to hear some news about that she was transgender. You
don't. She's not transgender. I just thought it was interesting since when I was looking this stuff up or looking her up a little bit. I forgot how it came up in my search about Lashaya Clarendon. Well, she popped up. So I figured, that's cool. I didn't know about it.
So we're about to wrap up soon. So listen in a few seconds, a few minutes. Got about maybe another minute or two. But what I wanted to do is say, please like and subscribe and be patient with us as we continue to do this. We got a couple people down the line that's going to be on the show, so forth and so on. But one of the things that I try to do on our podcast is because we are educate, influence, and inspire people, is to actually inspire people to look for housing, so inspire people to look for homes. And you don't have to just move just when you graduate from college, or if you're out of high school and you got a nice job. You don't have to just only look for projects. You can go to the projects or wherever you have to go. Or if you're like Donald, who had just that graduated out of group home situations and went to college and graduated and got married and has a beautiful family and the whole 9 yards, and lives in the most richest part of Brooklyn right now. You know, people like
the
that.
most richest part of Brooklyn.
Like that, I can't afford to live there. So that's how it goes,
Definitely
right?
not the richest
That's why
part
I'm
of
an Indiana. I'm an Indiana right now. I'm an Indiana. That's where I'm at. So anyway, so one of the things you can do when you're looking for places to live in New York City is go to 311. 311 is the number that you put in your phone, in your cell phone, and you can actually find out about Mitchell-Lama. You could find out about Section 8, and you could also find so many things about moderate income housing throughout New York. In New York City, all those big giant buildings that you see, downtown New York, even upstate New York, we call upstate Westchester, even though it's not really upstate, even the lower Hudson Valley, which is Nyack, Westchester, Chappaqua, where the Clintons live. They have something called moderate income housing, where they go with the money that you're making to kind of lower your rent. So I know 3 people in New York that are paying like $600 rent, which is unheard of. I know one person that's paying $200 rent in really nice neighborhoods in New York City. They're not as old where they could get rent stabilization, where their parents passed down the homes to them, but they applied and they got these places. Some in Battery Park City, some in Greenwich Village, and so forth and so on. That's New York. Here in Indianapolis, we have the Indy Health District. Indy Health District is an area. They're building hospitals in Indianapolis because a lot of people from New York and from LA and even Texas are moving to Indianapolis, and they're coming through. And what they're doing is they're giving you moderate and affordable housing. So for the first one is 311, or you can dial, I don't know if you can pull it up, Donald. I think it's called the New York City Housing Connect, right? Yeah, New York City Housing Connect. New York City Housing Connect, New York City Housing. I used to go to this when I lived in New York to find property, and that was let me look this up. The housing preservation, it's the New York City Housing Preservation and Development. It's on newyorkcity.gov. If you have a chance and you guys want to look it up, you're looking for housing, you're looking for a better way to live, better quality of life, these buildings are open. You just have to do the paperwork and really get into it.
Yes, and also I want to shout out, if you go to PwnEssentials.shop and then you go on to Youth Navigator, it's also a place that allows you to find programs. If you're in foster care, it gives you resources to find jobs, to find housing as well. That's PON Essentials.
Okay.
And that is also done by a brother that we interviewed on a podcast before, Chris, who's from foster care. So he created that platform.
So we just don't want to give you guys too much to think about, because we know how it is out there when you're struggling, you're going through times. So just look into these 3 things, and we'll repost it on our TikTok. I'm sure Donna will tell you about the foster care situation on the TikTok. And then last but not least, like I said, Indy Health District. Indy Health District, if you go to indyhealthdistrict.org, indyhealthdistrict.org, they have a program called, I just lost my way of thinking, just lost it all.
That's all right.
No, it's not all right. That I had it in my head and I just was thinking about. But Indy Health District, if you go in there, you'll find something called the Mosaic Center. The Mosaic Center is a place where you could just walk into these places and get training and get a job in the medical industry. So radiology, imaging, nursing. In some cases, you can get just free training at indyhealthdistrict.org. They'll have that information there. Indy helpdistrict.org. So this is one of the things that we do. We want to educate, inspire, and influence people to get out there and not to give up, even in the economy that we're in. Also in the spirit that we're in our nation right now, where we're going back. We got to get our Harriet Tubman on, our Frederick Douglass on, where we have to stand up. And even when it hurts and when we got a broken arm, we can't move no more, Harriet would tell us, yo, just get up and let's go. We can't lay around and wait for things to happen, or they're going to get us again. We got to keep moving and do things. So this is why we try to spread this information. And next time we do a podcast, we're going to try to continue to give you more information in the beginning and throughout the podcast, so you guys can make your lives a little better and you don't have to make the mistakes that maybe I made when I was 20-something years old.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely go to don't forget, after you watch this video, hit that subscription button so you can tune into our conversations that we have all the time, and you can be updated on all that we are doing. We have some really amazing things that's coming up in this month of June. We have Juneteenth coming up. So there's the Indy Juneteenth Festival that's happening in Indianapolis. And then we're also going to be hitting up InvestFest, where we're taking 15 kids from Indianapolis and bringing them to Atlanta for InvestFest. So that is the other thing for you guys to be looking out for. And then we are also going to be releasing a couple of trailers for 2 documentary films that we are working on. Give us your blessings when we put that up. I want you guys to give us your feedback and tell us what you think about it. And then once again, don't forget, we also have a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Road to Legacy Podcast. And there you will see all unedited footage of podcasts that we've done before. We also put some gifts in there. We have some articles that we don't share when we do these live. So you can do that as well. Patreon.com/Road to Legacy Podcast. And then lastly, you can find us wherever you can find podcasts. You put in Road to Legacy Podcast. Same thing on YouTube, same thing on Instagram, same thing on TikTok.
All right. So without any more, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go. Thank you so much for your patience and your kindness and listening to the Road to Legacy podcast. We continue to do work for the community to help others out. And everything that Donald says, once you look at it, we're going to be asking for donations. So hopefully you can actually join and help us get these things done so we can pass it on to our babies and the people who are disenfranchised. So on that note, I'll let Donald just lead us out. Go ahead, man.
Hey, we love y'all. Stay safe, stay informed. Help each other out. Peace.
Maya Angelou said, if you're going to live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that can't be erased. I'm Martin. This is Donald and Curtis. We're native New Yorkers. Welcome to season 3 of the Road to Legacy podcast.
Together, Martin and I have worked in hospitality for about almost 40 years. And we've been truly blessed to meet people from all walks of life. And in those conversations, it led us to question, what is legacy? What is the driving force that motivates people to do what it is that they do? That passion led us to create the Road to Legacy podcast.
And hey, I'm Curtis, the newest passenger on this Road to Legacy podcast, a student, lover of history, and I'm just super enthused, man, to be along for the ride with my brothers, discussing, debating life, politics, and race, and everything in between. Just hope you come and join us on this quest of seeking, learning, and above all, leaving a legacy. Grace and peace from the Road to Legacy.